Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Twilight Zone. More specifically, I'll be looking at and kind of giving a review to the episode, The Eye of the Beholder. If you haven't yet subscribed and you enjoy the channel, don't forget to do so because it is completely free and it is a fantastic way to help us grow and to be able for me to put more content out there to you. I also want to give a gigantic spoiler warning because a lot of this episode is built up. It's very well done, very well coordinated, and super accurate so that by the time you get to the climax, it is the super fantastic reveal. So if you don't want this revealed, go ahead and check this out on Netflix or in any other way and then come back to this video. But if you don't mind, then let's get right to it. So as I said, I think I need to reveal what happens in the story, but before I do, and reveal that ending, I do want to start with the setting. The story takes place under a type of fascist regime that is not revealed until about later on in the story. I think the perfect introduction is the one given by Rod Serling, so here are his exact words from the episode. Suspended in time and space for a moment, your introduction to Miss Janet Tyler, who lives in a very private world of darkness, a universe whose dimensions are the size, thickness, length of a swath of bandages that cover her face. In a moment, we'll go back into this room, and also, in a moment, we'll look under those bandages, keeping in mind, of course, that we're not to be surprised by what we see, because this just isn't a hospital, and this patient 307 is not just a woman. This happens to be the Twilight Zone, and Miss Janet Tyler, with you, is about to enter it. In regards to the episode itself, I would say that this is easily the most cinematographically beautiful episode, and that's because all of it is dependent on it. Every shot, every angle of at least the first 15 minutes of this around 21-minute episode focuses on certain shots, obscuring in shadows faces of individuals, from the doctors to the nurses and the very own woman under the bandages. Now, the woman under the bandages was Maxine Stewart. When they finally reveal the woman, she's played by Donna Douglas. So now, I think you'll find this kind of humorous but interesting at the same time. The shot begins by looking at the woman in the bandages in a hospital setting. Then we'll see a nurse come in the room. Now, her face is obscured by the shadows. But because of the performance of the HD technology that we have now, I can highlight and show you that you can pretty much see the face if you lighten the image a little bit more. And yes, she is not with that makeup. So they only use the makeups for the ending scenes. As you can see, I'm already kind of giving away the ending, so in case you don't want to see that, make sure to turn away now. Now, what's really interesting is everything here is auditory. Yes, things are visual, but they're trying to obscure as much as possible as well as showing you as much as possible. It's one of those paradoxes that's really, really interesting, and it's done so well. I think artistically, this is one of the most beautifully shot episodes, as I mentioned before. Now, the nurses talk about this woman. They talk about how strange she looks, how she is pretty much different from everyone else. Now, the only one's face that you actually see in the beginning, as I mentioned, and as you've seen, is Rod Serling. And so you think that the episode is going in a certain way. They say that she's different from everyone else. So you conclude that she has this weird, disfigured face that they're trying to fix. However, as the episode continues, you find out more and more. This is the woman's 11th visit, so she's gone through 11 surgeries, and according to this government, the society she lives in, you can only get 11 surgeries or 11 procedures before we go to the next step. There's a beautiful line from the woman in bandages, Janet, and she says, "I want to belong. I want to feel like everyone else." It is so simple. It is such a simple thing, but you see the way she's acting, you see her hand motions, her fingers, her gestures, and it's kind of disturbing in a way that you feel for this woman. She calls it a misfortune that she had. According to the story, people are segregated, they're separated from their physical likeness. Everyone has to look a certain way, and so again, you're assuming a certain thing. There's a really beautiful shot, a top-down view of the woman when she's kind of having a bit of a nervous breakdown, figuring out if she's going to change or look beautiful in this episode. Now, the doc begins to question the society's values. Why are things like they are? And this is something that we've encountered probably many times, and something that we can easily relate to. So that type of language was really, really good. Now, it's very interesting how they begin to wrap her almost halfway through the episode, and you think, well, what's going to happen? Because, I mean, there's still more time to go, or roughly 10 more minutes. So what is going to happen? They begin to unwrap the bandages, and you see just beautiful shots of the camera itself is bandaged up, making it look like you're looking through her eyes, her POV shot, and you can see the light coming through the bandages. You can see the shadow of the doctor. It's really, really well done, and the suspense begins to build, guys and gals. Then you finally have the big reveal. As I said, big spoilers. The woman's bandages are taken off, and the doctor screams, "Oh no, there's no change. She looks the same," and everyone kind of gasps and covers their face. She is a gorgeous woman, guys and gals. We're talking about what we would say, I mean, is pretty much Miss America, Miss Universe. And we are revealed to see the doctors and everyone else, and they're what we would call disfigured. But again, it's one of those shocking things where our expectations are turned upside down. What is the message that we're trying to say here? What is Rod Serling trying to tell us? I think it's very, very well done. It was written by Rod Serling, and it was directed by Doug Hayes. A very good duo that they made. I think it is fantastic. And we finally see the woman put together with another man who was part of an isolated commune of people who look disfigured, quote unquote. It makes you ask the question, our society, what it values now is beautiful, what is really beautiful, and who dictates what is beauty? And in this society, there was one man dictating what beauty was. And it's, I don't know, it's just a very interesting insight, and I want to know what you guys and gals think down below. As the man who greets Janet Tyler says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. In the parting words of Rod Serling, he says, "Now the questions that come to mind. Where is this place, and when is it? What kind of world or ugliness is the norm, and beauty the deviation from that norm? The answer is, it doesn't make any difference. Because the old saying happens to be true. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. In this year, or 100 years hence, on this planet, or wherever there is human life, perhaps amongst the stars, beauty is in the eye of the beholder." Lesson to be learned in the Twilight Zone. Which other Twilight Zone episode do you want me to cover? Let me know in the comments, and check out my playlist for more reviews. One of my favorites, hopefully it's one that you like and enjoy. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. Thanks for the support as always, and don't forget, be hopeful. A very big shout out and a big thanks to executive producers Andy, David, and Joe for being amazing supporters of the channel, as well as all of my Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon member and have exclusive content only seen on Patreon, don't forget to visit the page. Links are in the description. I also have coffee mugs and other cool merchandise for you to look at. Links in the description as well.